you to name the most profitable company or the fastest growth in the last 5 years, there'll be correct answers and wrong answers. Because one, there's a data that measures it. And two, we all agree on how you're measuring it. Think about it. The most important thing of innovation, we lack a scorecard and we lack a methodology to judge it. If I'd said that, it would have made no impression. You're just proving it. Because you'll be all over the place here. What it shows is we lack a scorecard. How would you judge? And you lack a methodology. So anyone could be number one. Okay, just about a couple more minutes, everyone. Keep going, keep going.
Or what?
You're dead right, it is. 1 minute and counting, 60 seconds and counting. All right, exam time over. Put your pens away. Pens down. All finished. No more writing. Exam over. Finished. All right. Gosh, some of you are still going at this stuff. Interesting, huh? Easy to agree or not? Not. One view or diverse views? What would you bet on? One view or diverse views? Probably many views. And here's one of the questions I want you to think about, guys. Before and I'll go around the tables and we'll ask one or two of you to give us a view on this thing. You know, if I had asked you this question, instead of these three, what is the most profitable company on the planet in the last 5 years? That's a factual question. If we know diversity, there's an empirical test, correct or not correct. If I'd asked you what's the fastest growth company, who's created the most market value, that is an empirical test. Might not know the answer, but we can show you some evidence. When it comes to the most critical discipline in a fast-moving world called innovation, my hypothesis will be we lack a scorecard and we lack a methodology. The reason so many ideas can come up is we're measuring different things and we have different views of what it is we're trying to measure. Would that be reasonable? So it's time to coalesce on those kinds of things. So let's, and by the way, that was interesting. Did you hear the noise? Who said business was boring? Some of you were screaming at each other. There wasn't much tolerance here. Not much tolerance here. Really screaming. In some tables, there were more opinions than people. I was counting. And in the back row in particular, we've got some troublemakers. So I'll be watching you. Always in the back row. I said to my MBA class, they have a hard problem with this stuff. I said, you know, because they tend to think brains will solve everything, including innovation. I said there is zero correlation, zero, between the IQ of top leaders and their innovation competence. This did not go down well with the MBAs at Michigan, whose brains are physically bursting out of their foreheads. And I said to the audience, does anyone here know their IQ? One young gentleman in the back row, always the troublemakers, with no trace of humility, shouted out, 174. Any of you guys get any clue about IQ stats? 174. I felt duly humble in his presence. He said, what's the problem, Prof? I said, well, you know, son, 165 takes you off the end of the valid bell curve. And then he was a bit exposed. And he thought, oh gosh, maybe it's just 74 then. Took a one from the beginning. I said, no, son, we actually give you 80 when you wake up. It kind of gets you through the day, you know. So who's convinced they've got the answer? Quick test. Let's go just shout out answer. We'll start with number one quickly. Which one? Did you agree or not?
What answers? What to which?
To number one. So you must have an IQ more than 80. I mean, you're awake, so go.
I haven't got my coffee. Yeah. Most innovative, me, I'll take, because I know.
No, you were at the table. What was your collective decision? Sorry?
Gojek. You don't know it?
I do. I know Gojek. I ain't as stupid as I look, as Muhammad Ali used to say. I ain't as dumb as I look.
I thought the IQ was at 70 in the morning.
Come on, quickly. Most innovative company.
I think we have a list of company, but I think
I don't want a list of company. I just want one company. Oh my God! Let me take back everything I said about Indonesia.
Yeah, but
We are going to struggle in today's world.
But I think we choose Alibaba.
Huh?
Alibaba.
Alibaba. Most innovative company?
Well, we have many answers, but our answer, we agree on Gojek as well. Thank you, sir.
I chose this exercise as an icebreaker. Yeah? This is a mountain of icebreaker. This is going to be a long icebreaker.
Yes,
Go.
our answer is Gojek.
Okay. Anyone got a radically different view? Sir, go.
Sorry, I was saying hello.
Not much IQ, but really high on EQ, okay? Really high on EQ. The hell with the answer, just make friends. Okay, I understand. There's a lot of boards I know like that.
I think it's Google.
It's Google. Chicho. Go on, Kat.
Hello. Our company, not our company, the company that we chose is Amazon.
Yes.
Amazon. Do you want to know why? No?
Yes, I'd love to know why.
Dr. Cap, no. Okay, I'm the designated spokesperson. We believe Amazon, because it moved from the selling of goods online from e-commerce to one of the biggest inventors in cloud technology. So Amazon is able to reinvent itself, adapt to the changing times.
Yeah.
And a lot of companies fail because they changed, but not soon enough.
One of the things I'm going to suggest to you is that if we had a long time to play out this exercise, it would be interesting, by the way. By far, the most frequently quoted definition of an innovation is a product or a service, or features improvement. Amazon did not reinvent a book. Uber did not recreate a taxi. They just made it a heck of a lot easier to get one. Apple did, etc. Who voted for Apple? 1.5. So, not sure. So a little bit, yeah. If I went number 2, just shout out, okay? Biggest innovation, what would it be worldwide?
Online dating.
San. Just notice the choice of table, all right? Who the hell needs online when you're sitting here, for God's sakes? Biggest innovation? Worldwide? Dyson? Ever heard of Dyson? Most innovative industry would be who? Category. Not a firm. Category. Is IT an industry or a big blob? Can't get my head around IT. I know washing powder is, correct? So that's the third point I'm trying to make, is categories are actually breaking up in today's world. We used to talk of technology. Technology is far, far too broad. There's some terrible laggards in the technology sector and some absolute trailblazers at the same time. So how we define the category, how we define the type of innovation, how we therefore define the company who's doing well is really, really interesting in today's world. That's not you did well, okay? Some of you did more than well. You're already innovative. I'll be watching you. Which firm do you work for? Don't tell me it's an online dating company. I won't believe it.
I'm a high school student.
You're a high school student. Phew. 4 things come out of exercise number 1. If I just opened with this, it makes little sense. It sounds a bit theoretical. Hopefully this sticks, right? There are, as a result of this exercise, where we lack a database to tell us here's a correct and here's wrong answers, where we lack a framework for thinking about what is the concept of innovation in a new game world, not just features improvement from an old game world, then I think boards need to go through 4 exercises to innovate innovation. One is you need a very new logic. And I think what we're seeing, and you'll see examples of this in the rest of our time together, is moving innovation from a technical exercise right to the heart of corporate strategy. It's got to do with strategic positioning, not just features improvement. And I'll come back to that many times today. That means it's not just owned by a few technical experts. So the second thing would be a much, much broader innovation agenda. We started by thinking in the world that innovation would always be products or services. Now we're seeing there's a whole wide range of innovation initiatives. In fact, if you look at the boring technical academic analysis, the innovation category in the last 10 years globally across industries with the lowest marginal rate of return is innovation on single products or services. Good as they are, it has got the lowest payoff in terms of marginal return on capital in the long term. I think the third thing, as part of what I call new game innovation, is how do you build an enterprise-wide innovation competence? That is different indeed from saying there's a department that does it. Companies like Unilever have all tried that stuff. We have a department called innovation, or it's the R&D or the engineering department. This is a very different way of approaching the management and responsibility for innovation. And I think it comes down personally to the end of the day. The fundamental test of leadership value added is innovation capability. New game creation, not new products. And a lot of CEOs are beginning to use that as part of the scorecard for leadership value added. So how you put innovation at the heart of leadership excellence. And the reason, ladies and gentlemen, is look at these shifts in the world. The context for innovation used to be the left, it's now the right-hand side. So we're trying to innovate in a world where, as we said,